Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm moving to brand new video today. We're here with the PWC Week 4 match against Luna and the Bannetes, and you can see what the teams we're bringing here are. I bring the Beware today. I don't think I've brought that yet, have I? I don't think I have. But anyway, I'm gonna press play. I lead with Togetic. He leads with his Donphan. I switch into my Ferrothorn as he goes for a knockoff, taking Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage. Here I go for my Stealth Rocks as he goes into his Venusaur. Uh, On the next turn here, I switch into Togetic as he goes for a Leech Seed, and then I go for a T-Wave as he goes into Latias. So Latias comes out, I'm able to get the T-Wave off on this, and kind of crippling it, but here I go into my Ferrothorn, because it can live most hits even if it's like Hidden Power Fire, so Reflect goes up, he switches into his Donphan, as I go for a Spike, he then switches straight back into his Latias, here, as I go for another Spike, I go for a knockoff here as he gets paralyzed. I go for Leech Seed as he goes for Defog, which does take out my hazards there. No, I go for Stealth Rock, sorry. Here I go for a Leech Seed as he goes for a Reflect. So, now I go for a Spike here as he goes into Empoleon. Now, I think I go for another Spike as he goes for a Scold. Oh no, I go for a knockoff, knocking off nothing because he's a Z move set. Togetic comes in as he goes for a Scold. He switches here as I go for the Roost to heal back up my HP. Then I go to Ferrothorn to take on Donphan again, I believe. Oh no, I stay in and go for a Toxic, but he goes into Latias predicting the T-Wave, I'm pretty sure, or Toxic or something. I go into this as he gets paralyzed, probably going for a Defog. Here he goes for a Reflect as I go for a Seed. Here I go for Spike, because I think the Defog's very obvious. So the Spike goes up. Here I go for my Rocks as he goes into Magmortar to take this on. Now, Ferrothorn's still pretty useful, so I switch into my Togetic as I go for a Hidden Power Ice, doing pretty much nothing because I have the Eviolite. I go for the Roost to see T-Bolts. Then I go for a Roost again as he switches into his Latias, I believe. No, he goes to his Mega Venusaur. And bit hacked on here, in my opinion. I do miss the T-Wave. I love Gen 7 as he roars me out, goes into Weavile. I stay in an Icicle Crash, hoping to flinch, but we don't get that. The Giga Drain comes off. So I switch out here, go into my Togetic again for the T-Wave, as he goes into his Empoleon here. So the Empoleon comes in. I go for the T-Wave, so this is paralyzed now. I go to Ferrothorn in case it's like Z. I know it's Z move, but I didn't know what it was. He goes for the Z Stealth Rocks in the defense boost. But I go for a Spike, so he goes for a Scold. He doesn't get the burn. As I go for a Leech Seed as he scolds. I don't believe he gets the burn here. As now I go for a Spike and he does finally get the burn. So here he makes the questionable play to switch to Lati as I go for a knockoff. And I'm able to stop the one thing that could clear the hazards by taking it out. So Magmortar comes in here, but at this stage there's not really too much reason to save Pharaoh. It got the hazards up and they're now staying for the game. The Fire Blast comes off, killing me. He's Life Orb. Here I go into my Weavile. I'm able to get an Ice Shard off to kill this. Then I'm able to... Then he goes into his Venusaur, which after hazards is not able to live this Icicle Crash. So I go for an Icicle Crash, killing Daisy, the Venusaur. And then he goes on Empoleon, and I'm able to click knock off, taking out the Empoleon. Obviously, the Life Orb kills me now, but here I go into Togetic, as he goes into Donphan, because I predicted Mimikyu, and I wanted to get T-Wave off. Here he goes for the knockoff, as I go for the Roost. Here, get a bit more hacks as he goes for the Stone Edge, misses, and I get the Toxic off. Here I go into Flygon to take the Stone Edge. Flygon's able to eat it up, and then he dies to Toxic. Then it's down to It's down to a 1v4. Mimikyu comes in, goes down to 64%. I hit it with an Earthquake, breaking the disguise. He goes for the play rough, able to kill my Flygon, and then I go into Victini, take a Shadow Sneak, and am able to go for the V-Create, taking out the Mimikyu. So we win this week in the PWC 3-0 against Luna, so GG. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. and goodbye. Peace.